Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Hey, Abbott! The Abbott and Costello Show from the very tail end of their run when they were over on ABC. This episode was originally broadcast January 27th, 1949, and there will be, yes, another Sam Shovel mystery. No! Yeah, it's coming.
Hey, Abbott, what time is it?
It's time for the Abbott and Costello Show. We're on the air for ABC here in Hollywood.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go with the Abbott and Costello Show.
Yes, it's the Abbott and Costello Show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood for your listening and laughing pleasure with chuckles with a carload and music by Matty Malneck. So hold on to your chairs, folks, for here they are, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
All right, what's all the excitement about? What happened, Lou?
Well, Uncle Mike discovered gold on his ranch.
Well, good for Uncle Mike.
Yeah, he's sending to Europe for some Englishmen with shovels.
He's sending for Englishmen with shovels. What for?
He figures England will want to borrow the gold sooner or later, and they might just as well come over here and help dig it up.
Oh, let's face it, Costello. Your Uncle Mike is a moron.
Oh, no, he's not.
No?
He's going to be a great scientist someday. Right now, he's working on a new insecticide.
He is?
Yes. Last week, he got out his notebooks and locked himself in his laboratory with 10,000 mosquitoes. He released the mosquitoes and was going to write down the mosquitoes' behavior.
And what did he write?
Nothing. He was so busy scratching, he didn't have time to write.
Just as I thought. He's as big a nincompoop as you.
No, he's not. Right now, he's crossing a rubber plant with a banana.
What does he expect to get?
A girdle you can slide into.
You know, your whole family are jerks. Look, by the way, what was that silly-looking thing on the radiator of your car this afternoon?
Well, you see, I can't afford a radiator cap, so I trained my little dog to sit on the radiator.
Your dog sits on the radiator?
Mm-hmm.
Does he bark much?
Only when it boils over.
Well,
I gotta leave you now, Abbott. I got a job as a babysitter.
You a babysitter?
Yep.
Babysitters are girls.
Well, what's wrong with the man? My Uncle Jim Kelly was a sitter. He isn't around anymore, though.
He isn't? What happened?
While he was sitting, the warden pulled the switch.
Oh, get him out. Take it easy. What are you so excited about? Calm down. What's the matter?
I'm worried, Abbott.
What do you mean?
My Aunt May is in terrible shape.
Well, what's the matter with her?
She's got hallucinations. She thinks she's a taxicab.
She thinks she's a taxicab?
Yeah.
Why doesn't Uncle Mike call a doctor?
Why should he? She gets him to work faster than the Sunset Bus.
How long has Uncle Mike and Aunt May been married, Lou?
Well, it's just 20 years since they went on their honeymoon. Aunt May went to Niagara Falls, and Uncle Mike went to Miami.
Wait a minute. You mean they weren't together on their honeymoon?
No, Uncle Mike said that a honeymoon is the happiest time of your life, and why let marriage spoil it?
Well, it's wonderful to think that your Aunt May and your Uncle Mike have been married for 20 years.
Yeah. But really, Abbott, what's wonderful about it? Uncle Mike thought she loved him, but for the whole 20 years she hated him. Hated him like poison. And now they have 17 children.
Wait a minute. If she hated him, why did they have 17 children?
Well, it was her idea. She was just trying to lose him in a crowd.
Is that mean to him, Lou?
Well, she beats him up all the time. He wouldn't mind it if it wasn't for the children.
The children?
Yeah, they beat him, too.
He must be really henpecked.
Yes, he is. She tries to keep him in the house every night. Saturday, when he started to take his bath, she put 6 boxes of Jell-O in the tub so he'd get stuck. Luckily, it was raspberry, and he ate his way out.
Well, they don't have a very happy home life, do they, Lou?
No. Saturday night, Uncle Mike played pinochle all afternoon, and when he came home at 6 o'clock, there was no dinner on the table.
Well, where was your Aunt May?
Down at the bowling alley. She's down there 7 days a week.
Well, that's a shame.
Yep, Uncle Mike should have never got her that job setting pins.
Well, look, wasn't your Uncle Mike married once before?
Yeah, but his first wife passed away.
Well, now that's too bad.
Uncle Mike had such a tough time collecting the insurance that sometimes he almost wishes she hasn't died.
What did your Uncle Mike do before he got married, Lou?
Well, he was quite a Romeo, Abbott. For 2 years, he carried a torch for a girl in Pennsylvania.
He carried a torch for a girl in Pennsylvania?
She was a coal miner, and it gets pretty dark in those tunnels.
Didn't he ever work for a living?
Sure, he had a job in a canned soup factory. He was in the chicken soup division. He was a dragger.
Now, wait a minute. What are the duties of a dragger in a canned soup factory?
Very simple. When a 1,000-gallon tank of hot water was ready, he'd drag a chicken through it.
Well, it's no wonder your Aunt May fights with Uncle Mike.
Yeah. You should have seen Aunt May Sunday night, Abbott. She was so mad at Mike that she said she was going to pack her suitcases and leave him forever. Now he's really worried.
He is?
Yep. She ain't even started to pack her suitcases yet.
What a couple they are. Mike isn't a bad-looking guy, but I can't see what he ever saw in your Aunt May.
She was very popular in Patterson when she was a young girl.
She was?
Yes, the Patterson Electric and Power Company voted her Miss Alternating Current of 1915.
Costello, that's about the year you were born back in Patterson, isn't it?
Yes. I'm Patterson's favorite son.
What do you mean?
Just last week, the people of Patterson erected a statue in the very spot where I was born.
The spot where you were born? Where was that?
Right in the middle of the Greyhound bus depot.
You were born right in the middle of the Greyhound bus depot?
It was raining and my mother couldn't get a taxi.
Costello, you talk like an nincompoop. Tell me, does your whole family suffer from stupidity?
Indeed not. They enjoy every minute of it.
Hey there, Costello. I want to talk to you.
Mister, do I owe you any money?
No.
Mm-hmm. Did I ever give you a tip on any of my horses?
No.
Have you got a red-headed sister in Chicago?
No.
Okay, go ahead and talk to me.
Do you give away prizes on this program? Can I win a refrigerator or something?
Nope.
Well, goodbye. I've got to go hurry over to the Gangbusters radio show. Last week, I got $164 on that program.
Wait a minute. Gangbusters don't give away anything.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I'm a pickpocket, too.
Now I know where I saw that guy, Abbott. It was the 30th anniversary party. Yours. Remember you had a swimming pool filled up with bourbon?
Yeah, the whole swimming pool was filled with bourbon. What fun.
Yes, I never saw so many people going down for the third time with smiles on their faces.
Well, never mind that. The whole town is talking about my anniversary party. Didn't my wife Betty look beautiful? I'm very proud of my wife. Every man in town was fighting over her, but I got her.
Abbott, you didn't fight hard enough.
My wife is a beautiful woman. She hasn't got a wrinkle in her face.
She hasn't, huh? Then what are those things? Dents?
Costello, you know nothing about women. I don't even know why I even discussed the subject of women with you.
Well, it's not my fault, Abbott. I led a very sheltered life. Then I met a lovely little redhead, and I learned about women from her.
You did?
I'll never forget our first date. We sat on the riverbank in the moonlight. She moved closer to me, then I moved closer to her. Then the moon went behind a cloud. Then it happened.
What?
She let me tighten the string on her ukulele.
Did she kiss you, Lou?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Oh, boy.
How did it make you feel?
How did it make me feel?
Yeah.
Did you ever stand on a hot buttered waffle and have somebody pour maple syrup down your spine?
How did you get along with her, Lou?
Oh, good. The second time we had a date, I took her sightseeing on a bus.
Rubberneck?
No, but I tickled her a little.
Hello, boys.
Hey, look, Costello, it's our secretary, Viola Vaughn.
Well, Viola Vaughn.
That's my line, Lou.
Take it.
Well, Viola Vaughn. I understand you bought a new car. How do you like driving in California?
Well, it would be. That's yours. Go ahead.
It would be all right if it weren't for the pedestrians.
What's wrong with the California pedestrians?
Well, I was driving down here tonight, and one of them whizzed right past my windshield. The dirty coward was pole vaulting across the street.
Sneaky devils, ain't they? Viola, why don't you take me for a ride down the beach tonight?
I should say not.
Ah, Costello, Viola's only kidding. She really likes you, but you've got to do something to show that you like her.
That's right, Costello. Do something brave.
Do something brave? I know what I'll do. I'll join the army and help fight the British.
But we're not fighting the British.
That's all the better. That way nobody can get hurt.
Costello, you know, you've been acting kind of queer lately.
Hey, wait a minute. Come to think of it, you're right, Viola. Yesterday afternoon, I saw him sitting up in a tree in Griffith Park.
Costello, what were you doing up in that tree?
Signing autographs?
Signing autographs?
Yes, the robins thought I was Woody Woodpecker.
Costello, here's another thing. Why do you always carry an umbrella on your arm? Why don't you get a girl on your arm? You know, a girl is much nicer than an umbrella.
Oh, I don't know, kiddo. When you're through with a girl, can you fold her up and hang her in a closet?
Why, you simple-minded, no-good, low-down...
Now, just a minute, Mr. Abbott. Have you ever stopped to consider that Costello's reasoning capacity and his functional capabilities for logical delineation are coordinated, comprehensive, and negligible? Is it compulsory to you to abuse this poor, moronic, social incompetent simply because the poor slob doesn't possess the mental capacity of an imbecile?
But Viola...
Just a minute, Abbott. You've had this coming to you for a long time. Let her finish. Continue. Tell them what a slob I am.
Viola, Viola, I can't help it if Costello's stupid.
Who's stupid? I want to tell you something, Abbott. I'm always studying, always reading. I just finished a book called When Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman in Dracula's Garden, where the Spider-Woman killed the cat girl.
What's the story about?
Two bums living in the La Brea tar pits.
Well, I've got to go now, boys. I'm taking my painting lessons.
Do you paint?
Oh, yes. I draw birds with charcoal. I paint flowers in watercolor.
What do you do in oil?
Fry potatoes. Go on, Casper.
You know, Abbott, there's a girl going places.
She is?
Yes, sir. If she hurries, she can be the first one in line to collect her unemployment insurance.
Oh, get him out!
Now, while we take a 60-second intermission, we'd like you to consider this.
January 27th, 1949, Abbott and Costello on Classic Radio Theater. Classic Radio Theater family, you know our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of your life. He didn't stop by just creating the best pillow. He created the best bed sheets ever. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, because, you know, I'm working like 67 hours a day. Now, Mike's offering the best deal on his Giza Dreams bed sheets ever. You can get a set of Giza sheets for as low as $29.98. You'll never want to sleep on anything else once you slept on a set of Giza Dream sheets. A special offer for you right now. You can get a set of Giza sheets for as low as $29.98. Call 1-800-928-4715. Use the promo code Wyatt. Or go to MyPillow.com, use the promo code Wyatt. It's good on anything on the website. That number again, 1-800-928-4715. Use my promo code Wyatt. Thank you for joining me here for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. And now, more of Abbott and Costello, January 27th, 1949, and another Sam Shovel mystery.
Hey, Abbott. I just made an important discovery. I think I can safely announce that Governor Dewey will run for president in 1952.
Oh, what makes you think that?
He just started taking piano lessons.
You know, Costello, ever since you started playing the part of Sam Shovel, private detective, you've got your nose in everybody's business. You've been as busy as an ant.
Ants are busy?
Certainly.
Then why are they always going to picnics?
Will you talk sense? What is that letter you have in your hand?
Well, Abbott, it's another fan letter. Listen to this. Dear Lou Costello, a Sam Shovel detective, you are the greatest thing on radio. I love your show. But my wife won't listen to it. She says she needs you like she needs a hole in the head. I'm sending her to see you tonight. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Costello, there's a lady to see you.
What does she look like?
She's a short, fat woman with a hole in her head.
Oh, never mind. What is your Sam Shovel detective story for tonight, Lou?
I think I'll do one of my old Western cases. I call it the case of the general, who opened up a drive-in and was caught selling horse meat, or Custer's last hamburger stand.
Well, now you're talking. Let's do it.
I'm Sam Shovel, private detective. I remember my first case. Three-eyed Maxie the murderer. He had 3 eyes. He was the only man in the world with 20/20/20 vision. And there was my second case. Terrible Tony, the toughest gangster in Los Angeles. He was a bronze giant with muscles of steel and an iron fist. I had to shoot him. May he rust in peace. 15 years in the detective business takes a lot out of you. But I feel as strong and vigorous as the day I started. Right now I could tear Superman in half. But I don't want to ruin the rest of the paper. I feel kind of thirsty. I go to the sink. This Los Angeles water is getting hotter every day. I glance out of my window. There's the headquarters of the Republican Club. On the window there's a sign, GOP. I just found out what GOP means. Gone out permanently. I look down at my desk. There's my new wristwatch. It's a shock-proof, non-magnetic, waterproof watch. The directions say don't take this watch out of the box. Fresh air ruins it. I think I'll give it to my secretary. What a secretary. She got the job the hard way. The hard way. She knew how to type. Lying next to my watch is my shotgun. I decide to see if it's loaded. I pointed at the floor and pulled the trigger. I looked down at the floor. When did I buy open-toed shoes? I reach in my coat pocket. Here's a wallet I found last night. I hope I can find the owner. I check to see what's in the wallet. Here's a card. If found, return to Mr. Nichols, Del Mar Hotel. Here's a driver's license issued to Mr. Nichols, Del Mar Hotel. Here's a birth certificate with the name Nichols. Here's the pink slip for a new Hudson sedan issued to Mr. Nichols, Del Mar Hotel. Well, here's $600 in cash. Looks like I'll have to keep the money. Serves that guy right. He should carry some identification. The name on the money is Washington. let me see. Oh, yes. It's about time for my pal, Lieutenant Abbott of the Homicide Squad, to show up. Abbott had a pretty tough week chasing crooks. Monday night he was held up on Main Street. Tuesday night he was held up on Broadway. Wednesday night he was held up on Sunset Boulevard. If Abbott would stay out of those saloons, he wouldn't need anybody to hold him up. Lieutenant Abbott don't have to work. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. This was okay until he found out that all the other kids had tongues. It's not easy to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Up to the time Abbott was 19, all he could say was Rogers Brothers, 1847. Before he became a detective, Abbott was a motorcycle cop. He was the only cop on the force that had traffic eyes. Real traffic eyes. They'd always look both ways before crossing each other. No matter what case Lieutenant Abbott goes out on, he's never stuck. Hello, Sam Shovel, private detective speaking.
Hello, Sam.
More of Abbott and Costello and the Sam Shovel case, the case of the general who opened a drive-in and was caught selling horse meat, or Custer's last hamburger stand, when Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues following these important messages. Roger, 10-4. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now back to more of Sam Shovel and the Abbott and Costello Show, January 27th, 1949.
No matter what case Lieutenant Abbott goes out on, he's never stuck. Hello, Sam Shovel, private detective speaking.
Hello, Sam. This is Lieutenant Abbott. Sam, what time do the vaults open in the Fourth National Bank?
At 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Not till 9 o'clock tomorrow morning?
That's right, Lieutenant Abbott. You can't get in those vaults till 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Who wants to get in? I'm trying to get out.
Suddenly, my door opened.
Sam Shovel.
It was my pal, Lieutenant Abbott. He was scared to death. He was perspiring. He was sweating bullets. Lieutenant Abbott, how'd you get out of that bank vault?
Sam, I'll tell it to you all in a nutshell.
Can't you tell it to me here? I don't think we'd both fit in a nutshell.
Sam, I've been working on a series of bank burglaries. Monday night, the Kelly gang held up the First National Bank. Tuesday, they held up the Second National Bank. Wednesday, they held up the Third National Bank. So tonight, I was waiting for them at the Fourth National Bank.
And you caught them?
Nah. Tonight, they held up the First National Bank again. But enough about myself. Enough about my trouble, Sam. Sam, you don't look good. What's the matter?
I didn't get any sleep last night, Lieutenant. A burglar climbed into my bedroom window and made me get out of bed. I stood there shivering in my long underwear.
Why didn't you holler for help?
He had a gun, and I was afraid to open my trap. After the burglar left, I still couldn't get any sleep. I was worried about my brother Pat. He kept poking his head into my room.
Well, lots of guys poke their heads into their brother's rooms.
On the end of a stick?
Sam, did you hear those shots?
They came from the office next door.
Who runs that office next door?
An organization called the American Society of Patriotic Americans for the Preservation of Freedom in the United States of all and for all patriotic Americans.
What do they do?
They're foreign spies.
Sam, look. There's the guy that did the shooting. He's coming in here. He's got a gun.
So this is the place I've been looking for, eh? Where's Sam Shovel, the private detective?
What do you want with him?
I'm going to kill him. I hate radio detectives. I hate them all. The Thin Man, the Fat Man, Ellery Queen. But most of all, I hate Sam Shovel. I'm going to gouge his eyes out. I'll fill him with lead. Now, who are you?
Oh, I'm just an ordinary policeman.
Eh?
Honest, mister, I'm not a radio detective.
And you? Who are you, fatso?
Well, I'm, don't stand there, Rabbit. Hand me my cookbook.
Cookbook? Who are you?
Don't you recognize me? Mary Margaret McBride.
Oh, so you're the one that gives out those recipes, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if there's anything I hate worse than radio detectives, it's those recipe programs. I'll kill them all. I'll tear them like a hare. Get out of here!
Costello, are you sure the folks at home like this Sam Shovel series we're doing?
Oh, certainly, Abbott. Listen to this letter. Dear Lou Costello, other radio detectives get you to listen, expecting something big on their shows. Then in the end, they have nothing. You never disappoint the listener. You have nothing right from the start.
Well, now, that's quite a compliment to our writers.
Oh, sure. And I'm glad they heard that fan letter, folks, because our writing staff is headed by Eddie Foreman with Paul Collin, Pat Costello, Martin Ragaway, and Leonard Stern.
And our producer is Charles Vander. See you all next Thursday. Good night, folks.
Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. All over the world.
Listen each Thursday night at this time for another great Abbott and Costello show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood. Be sure to stay tuned for the outstanding entertainment which follows throughout the evening on this ABC station.
January 27th, 1949, Abbott and Costello on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater, Part 5 of the 5-part Duke Red Matter, a yours truly Johnny Dollar story. This is a sad one. This was originally broadcast January 27th, 1956.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
This is Dr. Gorey. You left word for me to call?
Yes. Wonder if I could see you sometime today, Doctor.
What about?
About the Abbott matter.
No. I'm kind of busy today. I talked to you once, Mr. Dollar. What else can I say to you?
That's up to you, Doctor. Entirely up to you. I can tell you this. I have reason not to believe what you said before.
Now, look here, young man.
I have reason to believe that Duke Red wasn't destroyed exactly the way it was reported.
I'm not going to listen to any tall tales about a horse.
Then maybe you'll listen to one about a man.
What?
Thomas Warner, Duke Red's trainer, is missing. I've turned the matter over to the police.
Oh.
Yeah. How about it, Dr. Gorey? Do we talk?
All right, Mr. Dollar.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar. Location, San Pietro, California. To the Universal Adjustment Bureau, Universal Building, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Duke Red matter. Expense account item 8, 90 cents. Breakfast for me and coffee for Constable Tad Polk, San Pietro Police Department.
Yes, sir. I'm glad we could get together this morning, Miss Dollar. You know, I thought a long time about you reporting Tom Warner missing.
Well, maybe I'm worried for nothing. But I do know I don't like the circumstances of his disappearance.
You using me, Mr. Dollar?
What?
You know I got a police force of 4 men. We can't conduct any sizable investigation into a disappearance. Just aren't equipped for it.
I thought it might be something like that.
I don't want to be spending civic money to satisfy some doubts in the mind of your organization. It's not my province, Mr. Dollar.
Look, the man's missing. Nobody knows where he is. He didn't leave a trace. He did leave a month's pay behind him. He left after an argument with Abbott. Nobody saw him leave that farm, Constable. No one knows where he is now.
Now, just hold on to your britches, boy. I didn't say I wouldn't do anything about it.
Huh?
I'm going out and have a talk with Ben Abbott, Mr. Dollar. I've known him for a long time. Think maybe I can find out something about this. We'll see what happens there first, then make some plans.
That sounds fair enough, Constable.
Where can I get in touch with you in case I have to?
I'm going over to see Dr. Gorey this morning. After that, I'll be at my hotel.
Fine. Dollar?
Yeah?
You think something might have happened to Tom Warner?
Yeah, Constable. I sure do. Expense account item 9, $2.50. One long-distance phone call to Hartford. I explained the matter of Tom Warner and requested Niles Pearson to have a man in Baltimore start checking with Warner's parents there in the event some lead as to his whereabouts might turn up there. After that, I drove out to see Dr. Gorey, veterinarian.
You know, you have a way of not being very nice on the telephone. What is it now, Mr. Dollar?
I just talked to my home office in Hartford, Dr. Gorey. They aren't very happy with the way this case has been going.
They're too bad about them in Hartford. How does it affect me?
Well, they're just about at the point where they might close it and call me back home.
All this fuss, and they're going to pay the claim?
No, not at all. I don't mean they're going to pay at all.
What?
They can do one of two things. They can appeal to the Insurance Commission for a judgment. They'd have a point. No reliable or cooperative witnesses saw the accident to the horse or the circumstances of it. What's more, there's no carcass. For all we know, the horse may be down in Mexico.
Now, look
or
here.
They can institute proceedings against Abbott. Charge him with attempt to defraud.
That's ridiculous. Why would a man worth almost $1 million worry about an insurance policy?
Well, of course, it's ridiculous to you and me, Doctor. But then legally, it's not ridiculous at all. I can pretty well put some things together. Abbott didn't even want to file a claim for the loss of that horse. As a matter of fact, he fired his office manager, Monroe, for filing the claim. Fired him and paid him a bonus to get out and stay out so Monroe wouldn't have to answer any questions. True?
Possibly.
Abbott blamed the accident on Thomas Warner and fired him, too. Warner hasn't been seen or heard of since.
Now, you said on the phone...
I didn't say it, but I'll say it now. Abbott hated Warner because Warner was seeing his daughter. I'll also say Abbott never struck me as a man who could control his hates.
Tom Warner's nothing to me. I don't know anything about him.
But Ben Abbott is something to you. Now, look, Doctor. I spent some time checking you out because you're one of the parties who can help settle this thing. You've been in practice around here for a good long time. People seem to think a lot of you. I hate to see a nice guy like you get the book. I think I can stop that if you cooperate.
Now, look here.
Forget I'm an insurance investigator. I'm just a guy giving you some information. When I said my company's ready to turn the matter over to the Insurance Commission or file charges, it means that Abbott will have to sue for settlement. And that's just what we'd want him to do. In court, he'd have to produce Thomas Warner and prove his story of the accident. I don't think he can produce Thomas Warner. With what we have so far, Abbott would lose the suit, and the insurance company wouldn't fool around then. There's no outfit tougher than an insurance company when somebody's trying to cheat them, whether it's inadvertent or not. You'd have to be in court, too, Doctor.
Oh.
Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
Well, how about it? Can you give me the real story now?
I've been Ben Abbott's friend for 20 years.
And he asked you to lie for him. That's understandable to me. In a court, though, it's perjury.
What did it do to him?
That's up to the company. I'll have to hear your part of it first.
Duke Red was dead when I got out there that night. Ben had shot him. Duke Red hadn't had any accident. Ben made me promise to tell you that he had. Ben had just shot him.
Shot him? But why?
Duke Red wasn't the horse Ben counted on or thought he was. He had good conformation, but he just wouldn't run. Couldn't run, I think. Ben got mad about that and shot him.
And Tom Warner saw it happen, is that it?
Yeah. Ben told me Warner saw him shoot the horse. He gave Warner some money and told him to go away. I don't know. Ben's losing his mind, I think.
I've heard that about him before.
From who?
His daughter.
Terry, yeah. Poor Terry. Yes, she'd have reason to say that. Huh? Now what?
I'll have to talk to Abbott.
Sure.
One thing still worries me.
What's that?
I went over his bank record. He paid out money to Monroe, but he didn't pay out anything to Thomas Warner.
He told me that he did.
Okay, then. I'll ask him about that, too. Expense account item 10, 35 cents. I lost it in a payphone trying to get in touch with Ben Abbott. No one answered, so I drove on out to the farm. The short winter day was over when I got there. Darkness had already come over the fields. Darkness and loneliness. Hey! Hey, in there, open up. Open up. Open up, somebody. Open up.
Mr. Dollar, sir. Good evening.
Hello, Cully. Didn't you hear me?
Mr. Dollar, sir, maybe this isn't such a good time to be coming around.
Is Mr. Abbott here?
Yes, sir, he is. But Constable Polk was out here this afternoon asking him questions, and he got powerful mad. There's no telling what he might do. He's awful mad.
Well, I'm a little mad myself. I'd like to see him. Tell him I'm here.
Mr. Dollar, please.
That's all right, Cully. You go ahead.
All right, Miss Terry. I'll find Mr. Abbott, Mr. Dollar.
Hello, Johnny.
Hi.
Oh, don't. Don't come any closer.
Well, what is it? Why is it so dark in here?
I'd rather you didn't see me just now.
Huh? Terry.
Vanity. A woman always has that first, they say. Oh, John.
Who did this to you?
Dad. He's crazy. I just don't seem to do anything to please him.
Here now.
Oh, Johnny, I think it's the end.
Here now.
Take your hands off her.
What?
I said take your hands off her. I'll kill you with this.
Oh, Johnny, be careful.
Wait a minute.
I'll show you. I'll show you. I killed a man with that kind of thing.
Eddie, stop it. Stop it.
Terry. Terry, baby.
No, don't touch me. Oh, Johnny.
Oh, that's a pretty heavy cane he uses.
Oh, lie still. I'll phone a doctor.
No. Where'd he go?
I don't know. Out that way. Johnny, did you hear?
About killing someone else?
He was talking about Tom Warner. Johnny, I know it. He was talking about Tom.
I placed a call to Constable Polk's office, told him what happened. He said he'd start right away. After that, I took a walk around the grounds. All the cars were still in the garages. Then I heard some sort of disturbance down by the stables.
Don't come any closer. I've got a shotgun this time.
I have a gun, too, Mr. Abbott.
Go away from here. Get in your car and go away from here.
The police will be here in a few minutes. Look, this won't do you any good. Abbott, did you hear me? It'll be better for you if you're in the house, ready to make a statement for them when they come. I know that Dr. Corey lied for you, Abbott. I know that you killed that horse deliberately. Abbott!
I told you to get away from here!
You said you'd kill someone. You were talking about Tom Warner, weren't you? You killed him because of Terry.
Last warning, go away.
I won't go away. But you'd better throw that gun away and come on out here.
I'm not afraid of you, the whole bunch of you!
You're just being foolish, Abbott. Like you were the day you smashed up a new car because some little thing on it didn't work. The way you killed that valuable horse because you didn't like his running. The way you killed Tom Warner without reason. You're smashing your whole life now this way. Put down that gun and come out. Abbott!
That's enough!
Abbott. Abbott. Oh, you didn't have to do it this way, Abbott. Lie still.
Warner's body. Under this floor. All his things with it. You know about Duke Red.
I know. Don't try to talk.
Warner tried to stop me from killing him. He said I was crazy, Dollar.
Easy.
I'm not crazy. Am I, Dollar?
Don't move.
Am I?
No. You're not crazy. Not anymore. They found the body of Thomas Warner where Abbott had said it was. He'd been shot to death. Terry was still in the hospital when I packed up and left San Pietro. Expense account item 11, $65.30. Hotel and board at the San Pietro Hotel. Item 12, $175, airfare and incidentals back to Hartford. Item 13, $43 even, miscellaneous. Expense account total, $802.65. No remarks. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Remember, there'll be another intriguing story for you beginning next Monday night.
Next week, the Flight 6 matter. A story involving a girl so beautiful that men were willing to kill for her. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in this week's cast were Barbara Fuller, Barbara Eiler, Herb Butterfield, John Stevenson, Parley Bear, Will Wright, Robert Bruce, and Forrest Lewis. Musical supervision by Amerigo Marino. Be sure to join us on Monday night, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
And that wraps up, sadly, the Duke Red matter as it was originally broadcast on January 27th, 1956. We thank you for joining us here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. If you liked yours truly, Johnny Dollar shows or old-time radio shows in general, visit my friend Ted over at RadioMemories.com. He supplies us with a lot of shows and can get them to you on compact disc, on cassette tape, or on flash drive for your computer. That's RadioMemories.com. And mention my name when you go by there. Our webpage, classicradio.stream, where you can stream our shows on demand. You can follow us on social media through there. You can learn more about building your own classic radio collection. And you can also contact me directly there, classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. If you miss a day on this station, you do not have to miss a single show. You can not only hear them through my webpage, but anywhere podcasts are served, including iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all over the place. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's a new name. Please thank this station, support the advertisers, tell your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater on your favorite radio station.